Okay, let me start by asking you this. Why does a single survey contract for an LNG project in the Gulf of Mexico matter? Well, buckle up, because this isn't just about pipelines or drill rigs, it's about the future of energy infrastructure, and honestly, it's way more fascinating than it sounds. Let me break it down. So, Delfin LNG is building the first offshore US LNG export facility using floating production tech. Think about that. We are talking about a project that's ditching traditional land-based terminals in favor of massive floating vessels. Why? Because it's cheaper, faster, and, get this, uses existing infrastructure. They are basically retrofitting an old deepwater port off Louisiana, which cuts costs by not starting from scratch. But here's the kicker, this isn't just a cost-saving move. It's a signal. The energy industry is pivoting toward modular, scalable solutions instead of billion-dollar concrete monstrosities. FLNG, floating LNG, vessels are the new frontier, and Delfin wants 3 of them, each capable of exporting 4.4 million tons of LNG annually. That's like turning the Gulf into a fleet of energy hubs. Now, the survey work itself, geophysical and geotech, might sound boring, but it's the backbone of this whole operation. TDI-Brooks is leading the charge here, using the Brooks McCall vessel to map the seabed and subsurface. Why does this matter? Because if you're anchoring a floating LNG terminal in 3,000 feet of water, you'd better know exactly what's down there. Imagine building a skyscraper on sand versus bedrock. One wrong move, and your $500 million vessel becomes a very expensive paperweight. The geotech phase in September. That's where they'll test soil strength and stability. It's like getting an MRI before surgery, no surprises once the real work starts. But here's what most people miss. This project isn't just about exporting LNG. It's a test case for how the US will compete in the global energy market without breaking the bank. Traditional LNG terminals take years to build and require endless permits. FLNG. You float it in, hook it up, and you're done. It's modular capitalism in action. And the fact that they are using an existing pipeline system, UTOS, means they're sidestepping one of the biggest headaches in energy infrastructure politics. No new pipelines equals fewer lawsuits, faster approvals. Smart move? I think so. Let's zoom out for a second. This isn't just about Louisiana or LNG. It's part of a broader shift toward decentralized, adaptable energy systems. Floating wind farms, FLNG vessels, even hydrogen hubs, these are all pieces of the same puzzle. The energy transition isn't about replacing fossil fuels overnight, it's about repurposing what we have. The Gulf of Mexico used to be an oil playground. Now it's becoming a lab for the next era of energy. And companies like TDI-Brooks. They are the unsung heroes here, gathering the data that'll determine whether this vision floats or sinks. So here's my closing thought. What happens if Delfin's FLNG experiment works? We could see a domino effect, more floating terminals, less reliance on fixed infrastructure, and maybe even a new wave of offshore energy projects. But what if the surveys reveal a hidden fault line under the seabed? Or if the economics of FLNG don't scale? This is high-stakes chess, folks. And honestly, I can't wait to see how it plays out. What do you think? Is this the future of energy, or are we setting ourselves up for a costly gamble? Let me know in the comments.